Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be week 8 preview and picks. Um this week we're gonna go with a lot of home dogs. Last week I took too many favorites, which I usually don't do. I kind of got suckered in with the public. But yeah, we're gonna be taking a lot of divisional dogs, couple favorites here and there that are just too good to bet against, and we'll do a quick uh Thursday night recap between the Bucks and Bills. Going into this game, I thought that maybe Buffalo's fate had already been sealed by all the injuries they had on the defensive end. By the end of that game, they looked pretty good on defense. Granted, I think Baker was really just letting them have it. Like he was walking into sacks. We'll get into that in a minute. Von Miller played a little more. He looked better. Um, and yeah, this game was just really, if you're a Bills fan, this game gave you a lot of hope given what's happened in the past few weeks. Um, I thought, how will Josh Allen respond? He's been having some bad turnovers here and there. He's been losing games they should have won. But this week he did pretty good. We'll get into why that is. And against a somewhat good defense, I think. Um, so yeah, Josh Allen, the game plan really helped Josh Allen. What they did was kept they just kept doing really short passes. Like they weren't letting Josh Allen's eyes get too big, if that makes sense. They were getting the ball out before they could even get down the field to make a turnover worthy play. And that really helped him. They he had an interception, but it was tipped. I don't really it wasn't really his fault. Um and so yeah, I think that's something to look at. Like if they keep up with that strategy of just short passes, short field, or short downs is what I mean. Um, and I was kind of wondering, like, maybe they'll score less touchdowns that way, but if you limit the interceptions, it might help. It's just that's Josh Allen's like best trait is he can just throw the ball down the field all day and just put up points, but at the same time, it's really risky. So they're trying to limit the turnovers, but at the same time, you're limiting what Josh Allen is best at. So we'll see how that plays out. Uh, the Baker Mayfield, I don't know who that was the first like 3 weeks of the season. He was playing really well. He was making right reads, passing Mike Evans, who's really good. Godwin, he they looked good the first couple of weeks, and then now Baker just he looks like Baker again. He looks like trash. He held the ball way too long. He kept missing throws. He was making wrong reads. He took like a million sacks this game. He walked into them. Some he was holding the ball too long, and some were just on the offensive line. Sometimes it was all three, but it felt like every time I looked up from my notes, he was just getting sacked. Um, at one point in the game, it was 24-10 in the third quarter, and it felt like it was over. It was two scores in the third quarter. It was over because they couldn't even get a first down. So the Bills' defense looked great. Granted, it was against Baker, who's not great. But yeah, if you're a Bills fan, you got to be feeling really good about that. Bucks fan, however, you might want to look at. I don't know who their backup is, but you might want to look at starting him. I don't know. Baker lost in this game, in my opinion. Granted, the Bills are good, but that was tough. So now we'll get on to our picks here. As I said, we're going to take a lot of divisional dogs. A lot of you will hate these picks, but you just have to play the number here. You have to get dirty and sloppy, and it's gonna be gross. All right, it's gonna be disgusting. Um, but last week the public got slaughtered because they didn't want to get gross, so we're gonna get gross here. And what I mean by that is our first game, we were taking the Green Bay Packers plus 1.5. And I know you're probably cringing. I'm cringing too, but The truth is that Minnesota got extremely lucky last game. The Niners turned it over a lot of times, which is very uncharacteristic. Kirk Cousins had the best game of his life, which I don't think he's going to have a game like that twice in a row. Um, if you watch, if you watch the past few games from Green Bay, a lot of that, how do I say it? A lot of those receivers weren't open. And I think LaFleur is going to try and make some plays, like some screen passes here and there that'll go well against the Vikings. You know, uh, the Niners had some screen passes and some setup plays that worked very well against the Niners defense or the Vikings defense, and I think Green Bay will do the same. But yeah, divisional dog here, just playing the number +1.5 Green Bay, and I hate it, but don't know if also no Justin Jefferson. It's at Green Bay, and I don't know if Addison will have a game like he did last game. He had an incredible game. A lot of that was luck based, though. One was an interception, two could have been interceptions, and yeah. So give me Green Bay here, +1.5. Next, we got New York Jets and New York Giants. Give me the Giants +3. I'll buy it to 3.5. I like the Giants at home here. The Jets defense is very good, but they're very reliant on takeaways. Um, and I believe Tyrod Taylor isn't going to turn the ball over that much. We'll see. I mean, football, like turnovers can happen like that. So we'll see. I like the Giants here plus the 3.5. Um, I like the defensive line versus that offensive line. I don't like Zach Wilson is just doing the absolute minimum. And yeah, Giants +3. Next, we got New England at Miami. The line is 9. I know I said divisional dogs, but there's going to be two in this video that I'm not taking divisional dogs. I'm taking Miami minus the 9 here. I don't like it, but New England never plays well in Miami, and I don't think they'll have a game like last week. I believe Miami will bounce back. You can't think of it as week to week. If you think of it week to week, you would take New England here. But you got to remember how these teams have looked the entire season. Miami has beat up on bad teams. New England, they did beat the Bills, but other than that, they haven't really shown anything. Uh, and so I like Miami in the bounce back spot here, -9 at home. Next, we got Atlanta Falcons at Tennessee Titans. I like Tennessee here, +3.5. Um, I don't like Desmond Ritter on the road. Last week, they really should have lost that game. He turned it over 3 times in the red zone. I think Vrabel is going to game plan something nasty for him. So, yeah, I believe this will be pretty low scoring. And I I'm just going with Vrabel here at home as a dog. I love Vrabel at home as a dog. I don't have the stats with me, but if you look up Vrabel at home as a dog, he's very profitable. And if you've bet on him before, him as a dog at home, you would know that. Um, and yeah, so I like Tennessee here. Next, you got Philadelphia Eagles at Washington Commanders. I'm taking Washington +7. On paper, Philly should blow this team out, but for some reason, Washington just plays them so well, and it's so annoying. I hate it. But divisional home dog, give me the points. And yeah, they literally always play the Eagles well. It's gonna be a good game. I might have a heart attack through it, but Also, Jalen's dealing with an injury, I think, and the offensive line is going to struggle versus this Washington defensive line. Suo Opeta is not great. He's kind of just there until Cam Jurgens can come back. But he's not great in the run protection. And Mailata might struggle with Chase Young. I believe he gave him a lot of trouble last time they played. So, and Lane Johnson is dealing with Montez Sweat on a bum ankle. Lane, that is. It's gonna be tough for them. I know they're a great offensive line, but they're banged up right now. And they're going against a great defensive line. Uh, if if they can just sack Sam Howell, they should win handedly, but they weren't able to sack him last time despite him leading the league in sacks, and that's just kind of weird. So maybe he just plays them really he probably just plays them really well. I don't understand. So give me Washington +7 at home. Next we got LA Rams at Dallas Cowboys, -6.5. I've gone back and forth on this one all day. Give me the Rams. I believe the back door will be open by the end of the game. I'll buy it to 7. Um, I believe Mike McCarthy will have some type of blunder, and the back door will be open, and the Cowboys will win by like 4 or 6 maybe. Um, I like Sean McVay a lot more than Mike McCarthy. However, I don't like Micah Parsons going against this Rams offensive line. Last week I picked the Steelers because it was J.J. Watt against this offensive line. I just, like I said, uh, coaching advantage, and the line is pretty big. 7 is a big number. So give me the Rams +7. It's very possible Dallas blows this team out, but give me the Rams +7. Next, we got New Orleans Saints at Indiana Colts. Give me the Saints money line here. I don't trust Gardner Minshew. He turned it over 4 times last week. Like, this is a good Saints defense. Derek Carr isn't great, but he can get you down the field for field goals. I know he struggles in the red zone, but he can get you down the field. Minshew, you can win. I have a feeling New Orleans could win this game with field goals and a touchdown. Like, I don't think Indiana's going to be able to score that much. Yeah, I like the Saints here, money line. Next, you got Houston Texans at Carolina Panthers. Give me the Texans. They're -3 right now. I'll take it -2.5. Carolina is the worst team at getting pressure, and CJ Stroud is the best quarterback without pressure. So that's kind of just what I'm basing this on. And I like Houston's defense against Carolina. And yeah, it's mostly the pressure versus CJ Stroud. That's really why I'm taking Houston here. Next, we got Pittsburgh at or Jacksonville at Pittsburgh. Give me the Steelers +3 right now. I believe JJ Watt is gonna wreak havoc upon that offensive line, and the Jack secondary is not great. Pickens will be open all day. It's just a matter of whether they throw it to him or not. They have been recently. I think they're really going to take advantage of that secondary. So give me the Steelers +3 here. Also, yeah, like I said, just the offensive line for Jacksonville is not great and you're facing TJ Watt. I do not like that. Um, Next we got Cleveland at Seattle. I'll take Cleveland +4 here. I believe that Cleveland's defensive line is really going to affect Geno Smith. Seattle's offensive line isn't that great. Geno isn't great in the red zone. It's going to be low scoring. They're going to really get to Geno. And yeah, so +4 Cleveland. Next, we got Kansas City at Denver Broncos. I so I said I'm taking two that aren't divisional dogs. This is one of them. Give me the Chiefs -6.5. Uh, I don't think Patrick Mahomes has lost to the Broncos, and I it's he's gonna beat them by 2 scores. I mean, what's Denver gonna do? Kansas City's defense is great. Denver's defense is awful. I I see this being a blowout, to be honest. Next, we got Baltimore at Arizona. This number is big. It's 10. Uh, I've been going back and forth on this one because, like, if you're put yourself in Baltimore's shoes, you just had a huge win over an NFC opponent. Now you're going to Arizona, and you like know that they're bad, and you're going there. You probably don't want to go there, and the field is really bad. Um, I don't know. The number is just so big. Like Baltimore would win this, obviously. I just I don't like Arizona. I'll buy Baltimore to -9. Baltimore -9. I feel like Jonathan Gannon, his defense that he runs is built for elite quarterbacks to just take them down, to dice them up like surgically. I've seen it a million times when he was on the Eagles. So, this is a spite Gannon. Give me Baltimore -9. I think Lamar will do something to that defense. Next, we got San Francisco or Cincinnati at San Francisco. Line is 4. Give me the 49ers -4. I know, uh, I know Brock Purdy is out. I think Sam Darnold will do just fine. I think he's more than serviceable for this team. I think it's kind of funny though. Like when Brock Purdy went out, this line didn't change at all. I've been monitoring it all week and it just didn't change. You'd think it'd be like a couple points here, but it isn't. Cincinnati, I still need to see them do it consistently. I think they're a lot better than they were at the beginning of the season, but 49ers, that's a tough task. I don't think they're there yet. So give me the Niners -4. Next, we got Chicago at Los Angeles Chargers. This is ugly. I can't believe this is the Sunday night game. This is just horrible. Um, Give me the Chargers -8.5. I don't like it, but on paper they're a much better team than Chicago. I don't like it, but I don't have much to say on it. And then finally Las Vegas Raiders at Detroit Lions. The line is 8. Give me Detroit by 8. I just don't think Las Vegas has it. And Detroit will be at home. They're much better at home. They're gonna want a get right game. And this is it. Yeah, Detroit -8 here. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll be doing my recap video Sunday night. And yeah, thank you for watching. Sorry this one's kind of quick. I wasn't able to work too long on it today. But yeah, thank you for watching.